The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised. Well, welcome everybody to the Carolina Cabinet Special Edition, Mayoral Candidates of Hope Mills on this happy Thursday evening. Welcome, Mayor Bellflowers and Mrs. Laura Mussler, my dedicated co-host. Thank you for being here. Hello. So, well, I know we got places to go and people to see, so let's get right to it. So, Mayor Bellflowers, thanks for joining me tonight. We got, 6 days to elect? 5 days, 4 days? How many days? Tuesday.
Yeah.
From
Friday,
today.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
That's it.
But only early voting today, tomorrow, and
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
And then the big event is Tuesday, November 4th.
Yeah.
And you're looking forward to that?
It's going to be an all day. I'll tell you what I look forward to, and that's the engagement of citizens and getting feedback from them right at the polls.
Okay.
And I've been doing that, at the early election down at the BOE as well.
They complicated things this year. They gave you the Board of Elections, they gave you Cliffdale, they gave you Kiwanis.
Yep.
But I think from Hope Mills, historically, I think if anybody early voted, they went to the board, I would think.
Well, there's the number I saw yesterday was 136 have voted
from Hope Mills. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
How many?
136.
Wow.
That's a haul. I mean, to drive all the way from Hope Mills.
So you're either going to go to Cliffdale, or you're going to go to the Kiwanis, or you're going to go to
early vote. So there's nowhere in Hope Mills to vote.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
there's nowhere to go.
Mm-mm. Sure is not, and that's typical for a municipal election. That's not abnormal.
No, it is.
That's usually what they do.
You don't see any early voting sites in Spring Lake or in any of the other municipalities.
Mm-mm. No, I think on the general election in Spring Lake, they barely had 10 people show up anyway. So I don't think we want to do an early vote out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just waste money. Okay, so
how many people getting? Okay, so when you run for mayor, how many votes do you need to win? 11?
At least one. At least one.
I mean,
all right, maybe I'm being too tough on Spring Lake over here, but no, we're talking Hope Mills now.
Laura, I need at least one.
So, yeah, at least get him one vote. So let's dive right in and let's discuss the woman of the hour. It seemed like was the 4-year terms. That seemed like the biggest, if I was to measure anything in Hope Mills. So why are you a proponent of 4-year terms?
Well, that's one. There's several.
Oh, I know those other ladies we got to talk about, but let's start with this one first.
Let's start with, I'm a firm believer in institutional knowledge and continuity. And looking at this and what voters have told me so far, they get it. They see the value in the staggered 4-year terms.
Yep.
The one message that it seems to be the most popular that people tell me is that as long as they have the opportunity to vote for who serves in those 4-year terms.
Sure. That's
probably the big thing that I'm hearing from voters.
So tell me about statutory, because I know that the boards, Town of Hope Mills, City of Fayetteville, it is within your rules given to you by the legislature, NC general statutes, that you can just change the terms. I don't want to say freely, but you don't. That's part of the nature of your charge, is to be able to determine that. And people elected you to make the decisions as our representative.
Correct.
So because City of Fayetteville put it on a ballot beforehand, what's the merit of doing that versus just electing you as the commissioner and then allowing you to make the best decision for us?
Well, you've got two routes. You can the board can do it. The governing body of the municipality can do it, like what we've done. Or you could go the legislative route to do it, which I think is the direction that Spring Lake went in.
Okay.
Now, all their seats are all 4 years. At least we've got staggered seats for us.
Okay.
In Hope Mills. So those are the two ways to do it. Or you got to actually, and then you can put it on the ballot for voters to vote for it. Just like it was back in 1718.
So again, it is within the charge of you as a commissioner or mayor. What about, so how did you decide who goes to 4 years first and who goes to
top vote getters, isn't it?
Top vote getters get the three commissioner terms. Okay, and of course, whoever is voted for mayor gets a 4-year, 4-year term.
Okay.
So the top 3 commissioners and the mayor get the 4-year terms, and then the other 2 get the 2.
Okay. Is that something you had to flip a coin on to say, or is that just how it's spelled out in the statute? I mean, how detailed is the statute that you followed?
It's pretty detailed.
Does it tell you that it has to be the top vote getters?
I don't know if it actually goes into the top vote getters, but
Okay.
but traditionally that's who you're going to give it to.
Okay.
Is those top vote getters are going to get it. I think the statute does reference that in a way.
Okay. And welcome to all of our live watchers, I guess, right now. Somebody looking for audio. No, I think they got it now. So, okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. So that takes care of the 4-year terms. I mean, it's done. This election will determine who's going to be 4 years, and then the remaining seats will go in 27, I guess.
And, you know, and like I said, the citizens that I've talked to, with all of the planning that's going on, you look at this election, this isn't so much about where we are today. It's about where we're going. Where's the town going in the next 4 years?
Where are you going? Because I hear some people saying, let's keep Hope Mills small.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it from a realtor point of view and a business guy point of view. And I'm like, look, people have already made the decision to go live in Hope Mills. So they're already going there. There is that train has left the station. So what's the point of keeping you for 4 years? What can you do good for us in 4 years out there?
Well, you know, we just approved the comprehensive strategic plan that we've been working on for the entire year.
English.
Pretty much. If
I'm a 3rd grader, explain that to me.
Well, the strategic plan it's a direction of goals and objectives that the town would like to look at going over the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Okay.
Where do we want Hope Mills to look like in the next 5 years? What do you want it to look like in 10 or 15? And that's a working document. And it's going to work in concert with another plan that we just kicked off yesterday. Cumberland County Planning came in and we kicked off the land use plan, the Hope Mills land use plan, which is now in discussion. That's going to determine all of the areas within Hope Mills, the town limits and the municipal influence area of what goes there. You see, the zoning that people complain about today is things that were done 20 years ago. What I want to look at, and I know the board does too, is that when people 20 years from now look back at this period of time, and say they did it right, and here is where we are. We didn't have any oversight like we do now. You know, when we came in this last board, especially when I came in as mayor, one of the very first things that we did was town manager Chancellor McLaughlin put together the oversight committee that meets every Thursday to look at every zoning annexation request that comes to the town. Every department is at the table.
Right.
Not one. Everybody is there. And looks at, you know, does this meet the ordinance? Now will it meet the land use plan? And is it right?
Okay.
For the direction in the future.
So how much of this
Mills.
has citizen input? What part could citizens put their input into, and have you included that in this process?
We kicked it off at 12 o'clock on Thursday. Yep. Kicked it off at 12. Citizen right there in the rec center.
Okay.
This was the first kickoff of public input. We're going to have more of these meetings. We've got a survey that's online where citizens can either take the survey or they can physically come in and put their feedback on a set of boards.
Okay.
And the Cumberland County officials are collecting all of this input. That's what's driving this is public input.
Okay. So it's not just you and the commissioner sitting in a room someplace smoking cigars and drinking bourbon and just figuring out where.
That sounds
are
like
you
a good
bourbon
time.
drinker? I know it does kind of.
Yeah.
I want to be a commissioner if we get to do that.
Have you been driven to drink through this process,
you know,
sir?
We're not hanging around. We're not hanging around in a rooftop inn or in Tampa.
So
we're not doing that.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah, good governance. You know, you are elected to serve the people, but there's a certain point that you need the public's input, and then there's a certain point that I think we've elected you to make the decision. So I just want to see how much public input is coming. And so how often will they have these Is that like a standing exhibit at the rec center that anybody can go in, or how long will that be up?
We'll have the boards back. Our next board meeting is November 3rd, which is Monday night.
Okay.
We've got a special honor recognition for Commissioner Jerry Legg. It's going to be at 6.
Okay.
The boards, the input boards will be there in the boardroom. We hopefully there will be a lot of public that will citizens that will come. They will have the opportunity to go ahead and share their input.
When is it supposed to be finalized?
We're going to finalize it probably early 26.
Okay, so between now and 26,
Over
got
the next
about 2 months left.
Yeah,
3 months. Okay, all right. So anybody watching, if you want to have input, go do it.
Go either come to the board meeting or go to complete the survey. That's where your voice matters, really.
Okay.
Tonight at 6, there's another public input, and it's the lake improvement survey. Now, those findings will be presented tonight at 6. And all of that represents public input of how they would like to see the Hope Mills Lake area improved.
Okay. What kind of improvements are up for grabs? Like
We're looking at parking. We're looking at moving some parts and pieces around that's in the lake now.
What does that mean?
Parts and pieces, buildings, and then some amenities that we're trying to bring in as well. But now this is all tied to one word. Starts with an F. It would be funding.
I was going to say freaking taxes. Yeah, that was 2 words.
Well,
okay.
Now,
all right.
It's all tied to funding.
I don't think you were going to say freaking.
So how are we trying to just wastefully spend our tax money in Hope Mills? What are we trying to do now? What? Okay, so we're talking about improving the lake because the lake is a big draw. I mean, I remember at
my grandson had his birthday party there.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah,
When?
it's our centerpiece.
Okay.
It truly is.
Well, I used to always love working at the restaurant out there during summer because all the girls in bikinis would come in and order food, so it was great for me.
See, I don't want.
Well, parking is one of the issues now. Last year we finished improving the sidewalk, which is huge. There's been so much positive feedback on improving just a piece of sidewalk.
Sure.
It means so much to people in a walkable community. Parking's the issue that we're really going to have to look at going forward with the lake. Because
are you talking about paving more area or
just
redoing what you've got?
Well, redesigning what we have, and then we've got some additional lots there that we need to pave and bring up to where people can use them and park.
Do you think you'll have a facility like to rent out for parties? Do you already have that? What's down there?
Well,
now?
we've got the one facility, and it's Big T's has been operating out of that
right forever,
out of that building forever.
Yeah, seems like.
Yeah, and of course, we have the dock that's there. More and more people every year, especially this past summer, they use the lake. They come to the lake. They enjoy the lake. And across from the lake, we have Heritage Park, which is an extension also, another park that's available to citizens.
Okay.
But parking, that's where the big problem is. And that's what we need, some public input.
Okay. So we're going to fix the lake, fix the park.
Yep.
We're going to have that discussion tonight at 6. So you mentioned...
How long will that take?
Oh.
Just out of curiosity.
How long will...
Fixing all of this?
Fixing. I thought you were talking about the discussion.
I don't think they know what they want to fix yet.
No,
that's what this meeting's about. Yeah.
There was 3 options that was presented to the public for input. And so we'll see what the public says on option 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
Now, let me ask a question, because this is something that I've always with government.
Yeah.
So these people make these bids. I'm going to fix this for X amount of dollars, and it's going to be done in this amount of time. It always goes over budget, and it always takes longer than decided. As a, I hate the word leader, but as a representative, wouldn't it behoove you guys to say, if you go above, or for every day that it takes you longer, you lose like 1% of your funding or whatever, then they'll get the job done?
It would be nice.
You should put some penalties in there so that we're not wasting our money. And
So-
that was your bid, so be it.
I know that DOT puts performance incentives in their contracts.
They do.
Yes.
And I'm sure that
They do.
the town could
I
address
hope,
that. But
you should.
I don't
because
know.
otherwise
I don't know
it's-
how common that is with municipal construction. I don't
Well,
know.
it's who you select on the very front end.
Sure.
And if you select a design build company, you're going to get a company that's going to not only design it, but they're going to build it.
Right.
And that's what you want. You want to marry up those two on the front end. I'll tell you, the terrible part of any construction project is two words. And you don't know that they're coming until they arrive. And these two words are change order.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, it could either be from the design or the contractor, or it can be from the client. Maybe there's something that the client didn't put in and they wanted to add it or change it.
I can add another one called indecision.
Well,
that's another. So, I mean, if we
then
look
you
at
got
the Crown
lack of
Event
oversight.
Center,
Lack
10
of
years in the
oversight.
banking, that project was. And that the cost ballooned from like $30-40 million up to 140 over a 10-year period because nobody made the decision to just get it done.
And then you got the oversight piece. I mean, you just can't, just approve the funding and say, go build it. We'll watch from the windows because they may not build it
Well,
the right
speaking
way.
of that, so City of Fayetteville added an entire position in the city for contract review because of what they went through with the contractor up and quitting and all. What kind of apparatus do we have in the town to manage, or do we have a construction management?
We did
someone,
and we still don't.
Okay,
because that requires funding. That's an extra position, and we've got, especially in the budget that we just approved this year, it was close to a bare bones as it was, but we had to. When we get to talk about the budget, I can get into personnel, but you've got to have you got to have oversight that has to look at and oversee the performance of the general contractors. Now back to the John Hodges Public Safety Building. That thing started out with the architect about 7-8 million. That's what it started out. It ended up with a little over 16. And I mean, and it was change orders. Then you had COVID. I mean, there was a lot of different factors that brought that price up.
And again, Hope Mills, this isn't the first thing they will have been building if they do something at the lake. So
are they building or improving?
Improving,
but it's a construction project. So what I'm getting at is so basically we had some mismanagement maybe of the Hodges Safety Building.
We didn't have any mismanagement there. What we had was change orders and then we had COVID as well.
Okay.
So, and we did have oversight with that building. And when we talk about the lake improvement, we'll have oversight there from our various departments. Public Works will be part of that. Parks and Rec will be part of that.
So you will have oversight.
Oh, we will have oversight.
Okay.
Plus, the town staff meets every Thursday.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if we're not, because I'm not suggesting that you go spend money on another position. The last thing that I think government needs is to get bigger. Okay, because I want it large enough that I can kill it. So,
I think we do pretty good.
How would you handle the oversight? You just weekly updates in the meetings, maybe have a construction representative there. I mean,
I think we do. We really do a really great job. We have. When we look at the oversight committee that meets on Thursday, we have reps from DOT, PWC are there, whatever contractors that are associated with that project are part of that meeting. I've been in a number of them, especially one of them was with Wawa Travel Center. That got bogged down with PWC, and that had to be worked out. They were behind schedule. There was some tasks that needed to be done. And the general management team from Wawa put together a Zoom meeting with everybody in the room. And when that happened, when you get everybody at the table, you solve the problems. And that really worked with Wawa. I was part of that.
I
was glad to be part of that.
Say Wawa.
I was really glad to see that.
I ain't doing it
because there's a lot that's involved.
Right.
But you gotta, everybody's
so
gotta come.
They got on the phone. Wawa had you guys. Damn it, I did it.
Yeah.
Wawa did it with. They got PWC, Town of Hope Mills. What other stakeholders?
We had DOT that was in it.
Okay.
Any participant in that construction project was on that Zoom.
Okay.
Or either that or in person.
All right.
Our town staff, of course, was in person in town hall, and then on the screen we had probably 10, 12 people that were there from various. So
it wasn't a meeting just to have another meeting.
Oh, no.
You guys got it done.
This was a working meeting with one goal. Let's resolve whatever the issues are. Let's collaborate and talk it out.
Okay.
And that's exactly what we had 2 of them.
All right.
And that's all it took.
Well, sometimes you got to shake the tree. It sounds good to me. So, All right. The big hairy monster in the room. Let's talk some budget.
Ugh.
Why'd you raise everybody's taxes?
Oh, I tell you.
Because there's a thing called revenue neutral that everybody's tossing around right now. They say, well, they went above revenue neutral. They went above revenue neutral. But tell me why I don't know as much as I don't know about that.
I brought a copy of our $22 million budget with me, and it's the facts.
Okay.
Okay. And that's probably what I'm going to talk about is the facts that surround this. Because I've heard and I've seen, and it's a lot of misinformation is what it is.
Explain it so a sandwich maker can understand it.
Okay. So this all starts with the sales tax revenue ad valorem. We have to kind of start there as a baseline. For years, probably 20 years, I think, or longer, the county had a different sales tax rate for the municipalities. So, and it was renewable every 5 years. Mm-hmm. So when I first came on the board in 17-18, it was renewed again for another 5 years. And then the county would always say, well, at the end of the 5 years, we're going to switch and go ad valorem.
Okay.
Well, so it got renewed and then again, and then all of a sudden, the county decided we're not going to renew anymore. It's done.
And that was what year?
We're going to go, 4 years ago?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to give you a couple of years to figure out whatever you need to do, but we're going to go ad valorem. And it's not a Hope Mills issue. This is a non-municipality issue, all of Cumberland County.
Right.
So everybody lost sales tax revenue. Everybody.
Okay.
And some municipalities could afford to lose that. The smaller ones, of course, that's a big chunk. For us, it was a little over $2 million.
Okay.
That we had to fix in this budget. Mm-hmm. So you had almost two perfect storms at once. So you had the change of ad valorem, and then you had the reeval. Two perfect storms kind of working together at one time. County hasn't done that in 7 years. I hope they go to a 4-year model. That would be really great if they were to do that. I think so. I think that's the direction the county is going to go in. Mm-hmm. But the property tax rate, and I probably got to say this 3 times, property tax rate in Hope Mills decreased. Right. I'll say that 3 times. Decreased from 51 cents to 48 cents. Mm-hmm. Because I hear all of this, property tax, Hope Mills raised property taxes, property tax rate decreased. What increased is the value of people's homes.
Right.
Residential, commercial. And we had nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. That was all run by the county. That increased the value of residential commercial properties. So then we come to this revenue neutral. Mm-hmm. But let me back up a minute. Back to ad valorem. Some years ago, back in 17-18, a good friend of mine who's not with us anymore, he was a councilman on city council, Ted Moan. We looked at this some years ago, and we thought and made the proposal to the county, if you're going to change to ad valorem, at least phase it in. Don't do it all at one time, because the municipalities are not going to be able to absorb that loss.
Sure.
And Ted and I, some years ago when I first came on as commissioner, that was our proposal. Phase this in, over a 3-year period. Don't hit us all at once. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happened. For Hope Mills, it was over $2 million. So then you had the property reeval. So we go to revenue neutral. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's established at 31 cents. That's our baseline, 31.
From what was it before, 58 or something?
51?
51.
Well, the rate was 51 cents before the reval. Revenue neutral to get about
31.
the same amount of money was 31 cents.
31 cents.
Right. Okay.
So you got to add 10 right there.
To equal $2 million.
To absorb the $2 million plus in loss of sales tax revenue. That we had to add right. There's 10 right there.
Well, why did you need to make it up though? Why don't you just stop picking up trash, or just fire a couple cops or something?
Yeah, well, that goes into the next piece. Okay. So at 40, so that comes up to 41. We haven't even paid the bills.
Okay.
We haven't even looked at this next operating year. Not at all. I mean, so our new baseline is at 41.
Okay.
And then we've got public safety needs. We've got community needs. One of the first draft budget came in with a COLA for our employees at 1.5.
Cost of living 1.5%.
Yeah.
I can't get nothing for 1.5 pennies.
You can't even get pennies anymore.
Right.
And our surrounding municipalities were looking at, an average of 3%. Heck, Social Security is going to be 2.8.
Yeah, yeah.
And
well, how did we end up with 1.5? Where did that come from?
Because that was the very first number that came in to try to keep the property tax rate as low as we could, because we were operating now at 41.
Okay.
This is where we start with this budget that I got in my hand. The $22 million budget started at 41. Okay. Didn't start at 31, 41.
Right, because we had to figure out because otherwise you'd be cut. What could you do? You just have to cut services, right?
Well, it's either you'd have to either cut services, because if you don't have additional revenue streams and sources, then that's what you do have to cut.
Okay, I have questions.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have your budget, and let's say the police chief asks for $1 million. Let's just use round numbers. It's easy. He asked for $1 million, but he's how many officers short? What happens? And that would be fully funded police officers, correct? What happens to the money if the officers don't get filled? Where does that money go? Does it come back? Does it get refunded? Does it get put in a slush fund? Where's that money?
Well, first off, if the board approved the $1 million, which the board would not do.
I'm just using fake numbers.
I know that. Well, we did approve, and this was based on public input, that the public wanted the public safety building, the police department, open 24/7.
Okay.
So to fund that's extra positions.
Okay.
That's extra cars that we're going to have to put in this budget, starting at 41 cents.
Okay.
To add that in, to open that building up. And then we unfroze a couple firefighter positions that had been frozen for a number of years. So that was part of the increase from 41 to 48.
That still didn't answer my question. So how many officers are you guys short in Hope Mills?
I don't know the exact number of how many we're short today.
But you are short.
We are short, yes.
Is it 10? Is it less than 10? Greater than 10?
I think it would definitely be less than 10.
Okay. Yeah, I think the whole department's got 30 or 40.
We may be one or two short.
Okay, so you're talking about $60,000 a year. Where does that money go at the end of the year when those positions have not been filled? What happens to that money?
It stays in general fund.
It doesn't go to the police department then.
No, everything at the end of the fiscal year reverts back to general fund.
Okay.
Everything. There's nothing rolls over. I think maybe, Laura, that was what you were looking for. Nothing rolls over.
So now it's sitting in the general fund. So let's say you were Fayetteville and you had 80 officers short. That money is sitting in the general fund. Mm-hmm. Does that mean we get a refund and we get a check in the mail, or we get credit on our taxes, or where does that money end up going? Or we just spend it on, we're going to Disneyland,
Florida with an Uber and a rooftop bar.
Yeah.
I would really like to know where, because I see things and I see, and who goes through each line item to see that there isn't waste. Because if you go to the hospital and you're like paying $70 for a Band-Aid, that's a little excessive. So who's following these line items to make sure that we're not just wasting because we paid it before, we're going to pay it now?
When I came in as mayor, we took a different direction on the way we're looking at budgets. And the first budget workshop was in January, where the proposed budget for the next year in its very early draft form was what we call the first look of kind of where the departments are. Did they get are we on par with what was approved in the past budget looking forward? Now, all of these budget workshops are open to the public, and we always look for public input at all of them.
What was the attendance like at the public input sessions?
Very minimal.
10, 20?
Probably less than that.
Okay.
So all these people that are up in arms about the budget that are not participating in these events, maybe they should start participating and understand. But I'm
I
just
wish
saying,
they'd come.
I have a little bit of defense for them because they're living their lives trying to pay the mortgage. I get that, but there is a lot of fervor about, and I think I've said it already. Who the hell wants to pay more taxes? Nobody does.
Nobody is comfortable with 48 cents.
Yes.
Nobody is. But you know what people don't talk about, and this is one of the goals that I'm looking at going into next year, is the focus when we get in. That is, if I'm reelected, I better say that. If I'm reelected, I will ask the board, and when we get into the budget workshops in January, let's look at lowering the 48.
Mm-hmm.
People don't. You can raise property tax rate. You can also lower it.
Yes, you can.
And see, and that's the other piece that people don't look at, or don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We have the opportunity next year to lower that tax rate. We had a couple things happen in April, May that kind of shot the tax rate up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We had a cell tower that we thought we were going to sell for about $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, it was a done deal all the way up until the end where we had to adopt this budget. And the company decided they wanted to go a different direction.
Okay.
So that was some positions and some equipment that was needed for public safety.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the increase from 41 to 48 is primarily all public safety related.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me ask you a question. The average house sells for, Mr. Realtor. Average house in Hope Mills, North Carolina sells for what?
I don't
Any
know.
ideas?
I'll do that.
300,000?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's
below
200.
I was going to say, if I had to get, let's just use $200,000. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how much per year does this?
You're going to make me math.
I am going to make you math.
Okay.
How much per year?
So,
and then let's divide it out by month because most people put it in
200 and
at 41 cents. How much was it? And now at 48, how much is it? So how much money are we talking about?
Now, there's one more variable, Laura, I got to share with you.
Yeah.
One more variable in this equation. What does 1 penny bring in as far as revenue? At Hope Mills, that's a little over 200,000.
Right. But what I'm saying for a person,
yeah.
And I'm going through my bills and I'm like, holy smokes, my tax bill went up.
Yeah.
I have land, so my tax bill comes due and I have to cut a check. Yeah. It's not like it's, but I have a house out there too. And so my tax bill went up, and when I see my escrow amount go up, but it only went up like $40 or $50.
So the original taxes at 41 cents would have been $8.20.
Okay.
And because it's 41 cents per 100. So you take your value divided by 100. Anyway, the new amount would have been $9.40. So $120 more, which is about $10 more a month.
Okay.
About $10 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's and quick and dirty math for you.
I mean, right now, the revenue, when we look at what 1 cent brings in, for this budget here, is $200. Is a little over 200,000. Now, will that increase next year? We're hoping it will. It could decrease too, but we don't see that. I mean, we're in a very positive forecast with this much commercial growth that's there now that we will start receiving revenue from in the following year. And then we've got additional rooftops that are being built as well in Hope Mills.
So do you charge commercial properties? They pay more than residential?
Nope.
They pay the same property tax.
But the difference there was the county reevaluation was different between residential and commercial.
It only went up like 20 or 27%, something like that, commercials.
Yes.
Residentials went up 83%.
In Hope Mills, we was an average of 70% increase on residential.
Right.
But that's not true with commercial.
Mm-mm. See, well, commercial had already been, we had a revaluation 7 years ago, right? So they had already been escalated. And what you got during the housing revaluation was the tail end of Corona. The crazy market when people were, for $100,000 house, they were offering 120 because there weren't houses to buy.
Right.
So they were paying like $20,000 due diligence fees that could have been lost because they wanted that house. So we had that kind of built into the values. And anybody that is mad about their valuation, please give me a call. 221-5789. I will list your house
Yeah.
and help you move out of Hope Mills into the county.
Why would you
Sorry.
not want all that additional equity in your house?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you?
We bought a foreclosure
I mean,
18 years ago, and we paid like $180,000 for it, and it's now worth. I got a thing. My bill says it's worth $425,000.
How long ago did you get it?
About 17, 18 years ago.
And look at that equity.
I know. That's why I said I'm okay with that. I got an offer. I get offer letters in the mail. Here's a check for $350. I'm like, hey, I got $400 here.
It's all fun and games.
It's a good investment
for us. I mean, I'm a real estate guy, so it's good news for me. But you do have citizens on fixed incomes. You have
that's the issue that I have.
Yeah.
Well, you should have put away more nuts for the winter, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, look, it's not like we don't know that we're on an eternal land lease with our government. We don't really own our houses.
Well, that's true.
Don't pay your taxes a couple of years and see if you own your house anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, until we get like Florida and just abolish property taxes altogether, which I really would like to know where the hell they're going to get, how high their sales taxes are going to be to make up for the revenue not getting property tax.
I like sales tax. The more money you spend, the more money you pay. To me, that makes sense.
Yeah. But that also makes it consumption based. Yeah.
I would. I'm telling you, I would like to see.
Even if it's 25%. If you don't have the 25%, don't spend it.
If I was to look at in sales tax, just a quarter cent, a quarter now, not a half or 3/4 or even a penny, a quarter cent, and just apply that revenue to public safety, because everybody would pay that, regardless of whether you live in that municipality or not. If you shop in Hope Mills, you would pay that quarter cent sales tax, and if you applied that just to public safety, because public safety,
is this a campaign promise?
When public safety goes to an incident on one of the roads,
right?
They don't ask the people, "Are you a Hope Mills resident?"
Well, maybe they should. No, you're not from Hope Mills. We're not helping you.
No, I'm not helping. No, they don't. They help whoever is in the car. It doesn't matter where they live.
That's right.
Does not matter. And I think when you look at the amount of public safety that citizens in Hope Mills, we're pretty safe right now. We're really doing well. Our schools are doing excellent, and we just had a trunk or treat last week. At Rockfish Elementary, the principal stood out there and just was giving huge praise for what we're doing in community policing in Hope Mills. Okay. I heard the same thing from Southview several weeks ago when we had the tribute game Tuesday night for E.E. Smith when they came, because I was there, and it was huge.
Right.
It's the public safety piece, the community policing with our officers that are involved in all 7 of the schools. That is value.
Well, so how much did the sheriff drop in the SRO deal on you guys earlier this year? How much did that affect your budget?
The thing we had to now, the SROs are paid; their salaries are paid from the county.
Okay.
So we have to pick up the TCOs, which is those traffic control officers. I mean, we have to pay
crossing
for
guards.
Yeah, well, they don't
TCOs.
Yeah, they don't like crossing guards. They're traffic control officers.
And you have sanitation technicians too, I'm assuming.
We do.
Okay. Do y'all still pick up? Do you still have a Hope Mills sanitation department?
No. We have waste management.
Oh my Lord!
And
but you still got the same 3 guys I probably knew when I was out there at the restaurant. Okay,
and they have technicians.
Okay,
that drive around in green trucks.
Hey, I'm not throwing shade. I just think the whole thing's silly from growing up as a Gen Xer. Everything's got to be PC. But
and then we have to pay for the cars.
Okay,
that's not covered either. So we have to pay for the cars for the officers, but the salaries are included.
So how much dollar impact? Where you look at $1,200,000-$300,000 a year, or like how much did it really impact?
It's definitely about a little over $300,000.
Okay, all right.
So that's in. So, that's in part of.
That's what 2 or 3 cents worth.
Yep.
Okay. So far, are you getting? Let's say we got 10 cents plus we got 2 or 3 cents. Where's the rest? Well, we're gonna put you upside down.
I've got an entire list here that will tell us.
Okay.
I do know from working from the government in years past, though, when you do have a budget and you're asking for X amount of dollars, say I ask for $100, and it gets towards the end of the year and we've only spent $80.
Yeah.
Everybody says, what do they say? We better spend that $20 because if we don't
do that.
How do you know other departments don't?
We don't do that because that's the standard of the town. Drew Holland, our finance director, cuts everybody off.
Okay.
All right.
Because it freezes.
It sounds like they have a good system in Hope Mills.
And
I'm pretty impressed.
And we do. He cuts everybody off, and begins that in May as we get close to adopting this. That's when that physical management piece comes in to manage the budget. And you got to have a strong financial manager that's in place to do this, and a solid team. And that's what we have.
Can we borrow you for Fayetteville?
And that's why our audits are clean. For 6-7 years, our finance department has received awards for those years. Now, we do have some state auditors that are looking at some of the things that some folks have made some complaints and called, and the auditors have come down and they've looked at every one of the complaints.
But that's not come out yet.
And
no,
can you share with us what they're looking at, or
the final? Well, some of it is travel, like the Tampa trip is some of it.
Okay, what was the Tampa trip? Holy crap!
The National League of Cities.
Okay, so that's a big junket. No. What do I call it?
They go there to learn and compare stories and see what works other places. It's like all the council comes together and
it's the Super Bowl of cities.
Okay.
Right.
It truly is. Fair. I mean, and I will tell you, the city of Fayetteville, just about everybody went. Okay, but they're not, of course, being audited. I mean, there's some folks that want to audit that trip. They're not, just a few of us went to.
So, I mean, in defense of the taxpayer that wants it audited, I think Laura and I have discussed this before. We're kind of in the sphere of this governmental stuff. We have an idea how budgets work. Just because we took an interest in it and for some reason we like it. I don't know why.
Because we're nerds.
We really are. But I think most people are like, what are you doing with my tax money? And, how dare you spend X, Y, and Z? But did you not have a travel budget? Do you guys not have some kind? Because I know in the city of Fayetteville, like the councilmen get their salary, and then they get so much a year allotted for travel. So how is it set up in Hope Mills?
We're not set up that way.
Okay, so how is it set up? How did you pay for the trip?
We take it right out of the general fund. In our budget, we budget for travel and training.
Okay, so it's not really assigned to you, but there's a budget for it.
There's a budget line item that is there, for the board, for travel and training.
So how much you set aside for souvenirs and bourbon?
Zero.
Okay,
it's all out of pocket. If
I don't want to run for commissioner.
Yeah, if you want any swag, you got to get it yourself. Okay. But some of the lessons that I've learned, and of course I'm just coming in as mayor for the first 2 years, is that a lot of municipalities, they look at me and Hope Mills and say, if you guys don't want that growth, we'll take it. If you guys don't want that traffic congestion, I wish we had that in our community. There are some communities that are dying out because they don't have growth.
Okay.
But one of our issues in Hope Mills too is managing that growth. And that's going to be the challenge, the huge challenge for this next year.
Let's pause right here for a minute. We're having some tech issues. I'm going to switch over to another Wi-Fi. We're getting messages on the chat that they lost us. So we back up? Not yet?
No, I'm lost too.
Yep, I just saw a message of waiting for broadcast.
Yeah, Kenwana's on here. Karen Saracen's on here.
Your wife?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, she's got to keep track of him. Yeah.
And she does.
Yeah, she does.
And she does.
And she does.
Still not live.
Still?
The broadcast is waiting for signal.
Huh.
I think
this live video has ended.
Yep.
That's what it says. All right. Let me stop it and go back in. It's fine. I'll just stitch this together. Let's see here. That's the old one.
Yep, we are live.
Okay, we're live and we're back. So small technical issue, but okay. So we were talking about the National League of Cities, the Super Bowl of Cities. So for me to send guys from little old Hope Mills, what's the point? Is that maybe how you figure out how to bring other businesses here or other programs that the citizens would want? Like, what's the point?
One of the main goals that we went there for is grant opportunities. That's where the deals are made.
Okay.
is in these types of conferences. It's that, and it's also learning about what best practices are in other municipalities.
Okay.
The sharing of what's going on good, and then the sharing also on what can be improved. It's lessons learned, best practices. That was my takeaway from all the conferences and workshops that I attended.
How many of the commissioners go?
This past year, we had only Commissioner Scarola went, and I went. Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Kenwan McCrae went.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And were there grants that you were after, or
yes.
or is this like where you go to figure out what's out?
No, there was a grant opportunity that was sponsored by the National League of Cities that was available to all municipalities and cities. Mm-hmm. But you had to sign up for it. You had to be part of the workshop to get involved.
What kind of grant was it? Can you talk about it?
It was infrastructure grants.
Okay.
And we really need infrastructure grants badly.
What kind? Electric, plumbing, heating and air? What do we need?
Oh, no, streets.
Streets. Okay.
Because we're looking right now, we need $22 million to improve the streets in Hope Mills today.
So, well, DOT has the main roads. So what streets do you have to improve?
The ones that the town owns and maintains.
Give me an example of one.
God, what is... I'm trying to think right off my head.
It's okay. We don't prep our guests. We expect you just to, chop.
Just trying to think. I didn't bring it with me, the priority list, because we have a priority list of streets.
Streets that need to be resurfaced, maybe?
Yeah, resurfaced. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
$22 million worth. And we submitted that up to the state, and we're getting ready to submit it again to
well, doesn't the state give you some money for
we do get
resurfacing?
some money.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the city gets like $6 million.
I mean, we do get some.
How much do you think you guys?
But a lot of these streets that we need to fix were brought into the town when there was no oversight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, and now through the years, the asphalt is crumbling, or it's beginning. There's holes that are there. One of them was Deaver Circle, which is a little bitty road that was an orphan road. Mm-hmm. Nobody owned it. Yet over 2,000 residents use it every day.
Wow.
This thing last year became potholes. There were people out there. When it rained, these things would fill up. There were people that broke axles, popped tires on this road. If there was one thing that I'm really proud of what we did this year, was we spent the money, about $35,000, to repave and fix that one road that is so critical.
Mm-hmm. Whereabouts is that?
It's on Rockfish.
Okay.
It's right, if you know where that we call it the bow tie, where Rockfish and Camden intersect.
Yeah, sure.
It's right beside the school.
Okay.
Seeing Wayne Collier. It's you go right by it, but you never know.
22,000 cars a day?
It's about 2,000 people.
Or 2,000 people.
2,000 people use that road because it connects to the neighborhood.
Sure.
I know what it goes next is going to comes back around into the
I know where the bow tie is. That's where I stopped.
Yeah.
But it goes next to school and then it comes back around and goes back into the neighborhood.
And it's projects like that's the quality of life. It's those projects that mean the most to the citizens.
Well, what do you know about economic development? And I think we do have an election on Tuesday.
Yep.
I mean, you've been in the seat for a couple of years now.
Yep.
Well, how many terms have you served total?
2 terms as commissioner,
and then now 1 term as
and
mayor.
then now 1 term as mayor.
So you've been around a little bit. So what have you gleaned? What have you learned about economic development? What does Hope Mills need? What would you be going after now?
What we need? See, that's going to be depending on who you really ask in Hope Mills.
Okay.
What we need? What are you looking at? Restaurants? Are you looking at industry? You're looking at residential, commercial?
Well, as the mayor, what do you think?
I'm telling you, that is a question, because I ask that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Hope Mills needs as far as economic development? What investment would you look at for Hope Mills to have? And we've got some huge retail investment that's coming.
Okay.
I guess it's no secret that, close to the Jack Britt area, the Target complex is coming in, Camden Commons. That is really going to be huge for that area. And there's going to be a lot of different retail that's coming in.
Let's talk about taxes for a minute there. So that land was agricultural before it's been. So that's a different tax rate than than the commercials, so we are going to see an uptick in revenue from that.
We're
Not
going
to mention the sales tax.
Well, we're going not to mention, yeah, we're going to definitely see an uptick in that revenue stream. And then look at the other ones we have, like Wawa Travel Center.
Mhm.
Wawa.
There we go again.
There we go again. They
Yeah.
could have put that travel center anywhere.
Mhm.
They chose Hope Mills.
And that was a national project for them,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Like that's the first one in the country.
Down at exit
Yeah.
41.
Okay.
They chose us.
Yeah, I expect that there'll be lots of stuff at that exit, which is right over there on the Great Galsbury Farms,
That
where
is-
we have a property. So I'm
So
excited.
to those
about that.
watching, I'm seeing all the street names: Woodland Hills, Village Green.
There you go.
Pringle Way.
Help me
Village
out.
Green. There
Help
we go.
me out.
Timberlake.
Help
So,
me out.
Yep, you got your family calling an audible. I think.
Yeah.
We do have. I think that's Karen Saracen right there saying Woodland Hills. So
We have a
okay.
list. We have a
Yeah.
list that will amount to $22 million.
Okay. And now is that in the budget or is that the grant we're talking about?
That's the grant.
That's the grant.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. This is $22 million just for the operation part.
right.
This is those.
That's the whole budget.
That's the whole. This is the whole budget.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
See, I think people overestimate Hope Mills when it comes. Fayetteville's budget's like 350,
Yeah.
350 million. You guys got 22 million,
22
total for their whole
Yeah.
entire budget.
For the
That's not
entire
much,
year.
yeah.
which it is a smaller area. It's what 10 square mile or something like that.
Yeah, it's 10
Okay.
miles.
So
Now this does include 2% cola. I mean, we did. I wanted to go back and say we didn't end up with 1.5.
Mhm.
We increased it to 2, but that was additional funding.
So
as
that's
well.
automatic cost of living increase for the employees before they were to be promoted or
Yeah.
get a raise otherwise through an HR process
Yeah.
or whatever. Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Mayor, we're at 5:52 p.m. You have a 6:00 meeting. Go ahead, Laura. I know you look like you're chomping at the bit to ask something.
No, I don't.
You sure?
I really don't have anything. I'm sure people want to
I'm
know.
usually looking at you with like you got a gas can and matches in your hands, ready to.
Well,
No,
You
Light somebody
know,
up.
well, when you talk about the tax, the property tax rate, like I said, we went from 51 to 48. I think we can go lower. In
Mhm.
fact, I know we can next year. We can lower the 48,
Okay.
but it's going to take.
especially if you get more commercial properties.
But it's going to take work.
Mhm.
It's going to take folks that are willing to put in the time to do the work. As
Understood.
I will tell you, doing this job as mayor, I'm honored, I'm humbled
Mhm.
to represent all 18,000 plus that call Hope Mills home. But I make less than minimum wage at doing this, and I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I care deeply about my community. For 27 years, it was service to country.
Right.
Since I've been retired, now it's service to community. And that's who I am. I'm not different. I haven't changed. It's just I'm managing some headwinds. This was a unique year.
Mhm.
We had several things that happened in this past year. Next year, we won't have another reval
Mhm.
that we won't have to deal with or the sales tax revenue change. So next year's budget, when we get after it in January, we'll have a lot of runway time, but you got to have the right people at the table. As I say, you got to have the right people in the right seats on the bus
Mhm.
to make this thing happen, because we can do it. And in fact, I know we can. We've got an exceptional staff that works and are dedicated every day for the town to deliver superior services. And I'm
Okay.
proud of our police department. I'm proud of our public servants in the fire department as well.
So now you were 2 years on council, and then
Mhm.
one term as mayor, and
4 years on 4 years, 2 terms, 4
two
years.
terms, two
Mhm.
terms on council. And now one term as
Mhm.
mayor. So then you're getting ready to possibly have 4 more years,
Yep.
maybe if you get elected. What is your long-term goal? How long do you see yourself serving as mayor?
I'll serve as long as the people want me to serve, because my whole goal is quality of life. It truly is. It's quality of life for all the residents in Hope Mills.
So you
That's
don't
my
s-
driver.
So you don't see yourself saying, "Hey, I've done 10 years, 12 years, 14 years on the council. It's time to hand it off to somebody new." You just want to stay there in the seat.
I'll stay there as long as people want me.
Okay.
4 years from now is a long time. I mean, things may change. I may have a different outlook 4 years from now. I can't say. I don't know. My
And-
wife may say something different too in 4 years. I want to make sure.
Yeah. Okay.
She normally
Now-
keeps her comments to herself. She doesn't really say much. a
one
lot.
one of the things that irritates me about when people get into positions, what are you doing to train somebody else to, like, you have a pro tem? What steps do you guys take to train the person to take your position? Because eventually, I'm not, we all go away.
Well,
you know,
that's a
what-
good question, Laura, because that kind of concerns me with the opponent that's running against me for mayor.
Mhm.
He has not attended any meetings up until the last couple. He has never served on any commissions for the town.
Mhm.
He's not been involved in the town at all up until a couple meetings, and that's it.
See, that's something that I've always said, that you need to be participating in the
just
committees.
appear out of nowhere.
That's exactly right. I mean, all
Well,
these
and
commissions and stuff.
I forgot to mention earlier that Mr. Henderson did decline our request to show up this evening.
Yes.
So, out of fairness to Mayor Bellflowers, I just proceeded with he had 2 shows now, and Mr. Henderson had 2 shows. So,
Yep.
We're not bound by FCC fair guidelines or whatever, because this is off the radio right now. But we do invite everybody.
But I will say that even though that I served 2 terms as commissioner, 4 years, serving as mayor is a totally different obligation, and different direction, and different outlook. It totally is, because now you're at the 50,000 foot level, representing the entire town, in the good, the bad, whatever people want to say, ugly. And
don't you do that as a commissioner also?
You do that as commissioner, but and in a mayor's role, you're kind of the spokesperson too for the town.
See, I always say that the mayor only pretty much has the same job. He only has one vote. You just
I don't vote, and I don't have a vote.
Oh, okay. See, you don't even get to vote, so you just set the agenda and take all the credit and take all the heat.
That's one thing I like. Well, that's one positive. Well, there's several that you just said. As far as the agenda goes, we manage the agenda very, very well. There's been some things that we've moved around on the agenda to make sure that it's workable and that the public understands it, that it's not too convoluted or, something on there that is either on the consent. There's a lot of stuff that I actually put on new business myself. Just because of transparency. I want to make sure that agenda is fully transparent.
Do y'all have a work session?
No, we do not.
What would it take to get, because I feel like
seems like they have a lot of sessions, though.
They do, but City of Fayetteville has I'm sorry, that's what I know, so I keep going back to it. But they have a work session that is audio recorded, not video, and it is accessible to the public. So, I mean, do you think that would help or hinder your
Well,
board
I think
right
they
now?
also have lunches or dinners at these locals.
They do. Yeah.
They do. And there's been a lot of times that, especially over the past months, where we've been criticized for feeding people. So I don't
look.
I don't know why.
We're Southern. Hospitality means we feed somebody, we break bread, we get things done. I don't see that big of a deal. Maybe don't go to, I don't know if we can afford the Lord's Chicken, but maybe the lady down Main Street.
So you're not having Chris's steakhouse?
No, I don't think it should be Chris's Steakhouse, but
but I think you could splurge for Olive Garden.
What's a box lunch at $9 or $10? It's not a big deal.
I'm just saying, if you're doing dinner, it would be nice to have.
My point is to get more. Getting the direction in one direction, because I think they would get in trouble if they have meetings before the meetings kind of thing, because if you have more than 3 of you, it's quorum. So it's hard to, and I'm sorry, but y'all need to be coordinated going into these meetings.
The agenda goes out at least Thursday, sometimes Friday morning, but at least goes out Thursday to the public and to the commissioners. So that's the other piece, is that seasoned commissioners will do their homework. And you need to do your homework. And because, I mean, when you're looking at voting up or down on an issue that's going to be on that agenda for Monday night, you need to go out, do your homework, do your research. That's what my strength is. Everything that's on that agenda, I have either looked at in one way or another, or it's fueled by public input. And for the large amount of voting this 2 years, we've been pretty consistent. Up until recently, there's been some dissenting votes, but back to this budget. I mean, it passed 4-1, and really it should have passed 5-0, because we had to make up the 10-cent loss.
Right.
I mean, I don't like the 48. I don't know anyone who does.
Well, look, in my opinion, make it clear how much services will cut if we don't approve a certain budget.
But I say
I mean,
that, Peter, and I tell people, I said, okay, you want me to cut it? You want me to go from 48 to 41? What do you want me to cut out?
Be specific though, because that's one of the things that I learned when you ask for volunteers. Hey, I need a volunteer. Nobody volunteers, but I said, hey, I need somebody to do this. No,
Yeah.
I've already known this, but whatever. So here we go. We can have 48 cents, or we can get rid of 5 police officers. We can have 2 police officers, and we can go down to 46. And we're gonna get so you tell me which of those things you guys be specific, and then all of a sudden, well, we do need that.
I went to.
We'll do trash once every 2 weeks.
Just tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, the boardroom. For years the boardroom needed an upgrade. Well, that's $50,000. For years, public has complained they couldn't listen to the meetings, or the video was not good, and so finally we decided this in this budget we would take $50,000 and upgrade that boardroom, and it's probably the best decision we did, because now everybody can hear and listen to the board meetings. But when you're dealing with $200,000 per penny, and you want to go from 48 to 46, that's only $400,000.
Right.
So what do you want to give up for $400,000?
Just people don't think about how $400,000 sounds like a lot of money to me and most people, but they don't think about specifically what it entails. I could find 2 cents to cut, No, you're not cutting 2 cents. So here's what we have for $400,000. Show me, here's the budget. Let's go over. What would you like me to cut? We can sell the fire trucks. Do you guys want to sell the fire trucks? People will come to a little more reality as opposed to, because people can't take into their mind what $400,000 is. They're thinking about 2 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I went to Bojangles, and the drive-through, they have a sign for the people to read that says a ketchup packet is this much, a barbecue is this much.
Yeah.
For the actual cost.
Right.
So, we need a chart like Bojangles. Make it bow time.
Right.
Put some up on the wall.
We did. Now,
I love that.
Going
I love
forward,
that.
our vision going forward is, in this budget, we did set aside $100,000, a half a penny, for looking at a substation site, because we know that we're going to have to expand a public safety. So in this budget, we set aside $100,000 just to look at a substation.
Has that money been spent?
It has not.
Okay.
What does that mean to look at?
When we're looking at different sites.
Does that mean you're going to hire an expert to come in and tell us where to have a substation?
Nope.
You're going to pay
our fire department and police department pretty much know exactly what areas.
So we're not paying somebody to come $100,000 to come and tell us where we already know we need something.
I already know the location.
Okay.
We've got, like I said, we've got some smart folks that work in public safety. And the other part is, we haven't even talked about the real growing department, which is Parks and Rec. We need a building. That one we've got is 1983. So now we're looking at partnerships with T.J. Robertson Life Center, because now we're going to have to go and do some contracts, because we have maxed out the capacity for Parks and Rec programs in Hope Mills, completely maxed out.
Okay.
Now, if we don't have kids in programs and activities, where will kids go?
Go break some glass and steal some guns.
I mean,
that's what happens over here.
I mean,
if you don't otherwise engage the children, yes, I believe they will turn to just mischief, and that mischief will eventually turn violent or possibly deadly.
And Peter, that's what we hear from the principals of the 7 schools that we're involved in right
these
now,
kids engaged,
for community policing. So how can you put a value on community policing when it's working so very, very well with our kids? We've got to continue Parks and Rec opportunities, but that's funding.
Right. Well, it's the most American of flaws. We want instant gratification, and I only read headlines to get pissed off.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do, I guess, sometimes. We do have one person in the chat. We acknowledge Lori, so say hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Okay. She says that public officials should be working for the people, but she hasn't responded yet. I'm kind of sad. So, I kind of think, do you feel that you work for the people?
I work every day for the people.
And it sounds like they have a lot of meetings that you can attend. So if you're not attending the meetings,
where can I find a schedule for the meetings?
Right.
They're posted on the town website.
Okay.
We
what if I'm
It's also on the market. We also post them not only on the town website. We have a town Facebook page
Okay.
that we push out the meetings. Just like Monday night. I mean, we've got a special one at 6:00 to honor Commissioner.
I don't want to bog this down, but I have to ask, okay, because I asked everybody else. I looked for Old Mills Days on the town website. It was not there. I had to find it on Distinctly Fayetteville. What's your beef with Old Mills Days?
Okay. Here's what happened with Old Mill.
Okay.
Now it's not run by the town's Parks and Rec.
Okay.
It's now run by Debbie Jones and the Hope Mills Police Foundation.
Right.
Okay. So that's the person that's behind it. And it was really run well.
Wasn't she doing that beforehand anyway?
Yeah,
Debbie's been doing it a long time.
Oh yeah, she's been in.
So
her heart is all in
if
this.
she's watching. Hi, Debbie, and
her heart's in this.
She knows my family real well. I think she worked with my dad a long time ago. Yeah, long time ago when the world was young. Okay, so it's Police Foundation runs it, not Town of Hope Mills.
Yeah. Well, it's a partnership, but mainly Debbie and her husband and the foundation. I mean, they pour a lot of time into this, and the comments from Saturday was just huge about. In fact, people want more community events.
Okay,
that's what I hear.
Well, okay, I'm going to make this request as a non-Hope Mills taxpayer. That sounds like an event in the public interest. So maybe can you put a bug in the ear of whoever makes the schedule, and because I shouldn't have to go Google City of Fayetteville events and find Hope Mills. Anyway, I just. Since I got you here,
you're a social media person.
I'm going to leverage the communication right now. And, so, okay. So Old Mills Days, you'll be back on the calendar. Okay. And you're welcome.
Yep.
So, Mayor Bellflowers, tell us about how people can get in touch with you, learn about your campaign. If any website or whatever, please tell us now.
Well, I'll be at Board of Elections tomorrow, and I'll be there also on Saturday. And of course, they can find me definitely Tuesday. Or people can call me. They can text me.
What if somebody wants to last minute donate to your campaign? How do they do that?
Just reach out to me. I'll meet them or get up with them in whatever way that they want.
And Lord knows Bambi will be all over it because she's all over every time we're on.
She will be.
I'm going to tell you.
Hats off to Bambi.
Hats off to my family who has continued to inspire me and support me on this journey. You can't do it alone. You have to have family as a team. And we have a lot of conversations. She cares about Hope Mills as deeply as I do. Our granddaughters were raised here and our daughter is here. So, and I get a little passionate about this because, you really got to have the heart to do this. And I said this to Jackie Warner, former Mayor Jackie Warner, when we honored her and put her picture up in the boardroom. I looked at her that night and I said, Jackie, how did you do this job for 12 straight years? And I meant that every time. And when I said that to her, how did you do it for 12 straight years?
I believe it. No, I know it's a lot of stress. I think having run for office, Laura, and I know that we realize how much we don't know until you get involved with that process, and especially sitting in the seat, having an attitude of learning and wanting to continue. That's a big deal for an elected.
But you got to go in already knowing something, and
you got to know a little something.
Spend a little time doing a little homework, and don't just
Several times the mayor referred to the staff. It wasn't I.
Right.
So whatever's happened, good, bad, or ugly out there, they have a staff that he feels is very capable. That despite the elected sitting at the dais, you've got a town that's going to run.
I have the utmost trust and confidence in the staff. I do.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean we agree all the time.
Right. No, I'd be interested if you did, but no, I don't think you would. So, well, Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here. This is Peter Pappas and Laura Mussler signing off for the Carolina Cabinet. Thanks, y'all, for watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.